Go Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
That was a pathetic ending to a pathetic ball game. And I tweeted it out. I said McManus is not going to make that kick. He tried to over-kick it and ultimately was just shankopotamus the thing. He wasn't going to make a 64-yarder. I watched him all during warm-ups today. I even videotaped it. And he made it from 56 pretty continuously, but he was just getting it over the crossbar. And then the 64-yarder, he on the timeout, he made it just missed it by about 2-3 yards. So I thought, okay, 60 maybe. And then that stupid play that the Packers ran, which was a complete waste, just throwing a ball out of bounds, which I don't understand that at all. When they could have picked up the 3 or 4 yards, it made it a little bit closer for McManus to get there. The bottom line was the defense played extremely well. The offense sucks. The offensive line sucks. I'll say this. I'm not going to blame it all on Matt LaFleur, although that horse crap fourth down call that he had in that hurry up, you should have called a timeout, set something up, picked up the first down, kept the ball, and kept it going. I don't understand what that was. And in addition to that, but he's not the guy out there dropping passes. 5 drop passes tonight. 5 drop passes. Otherwise, Jordan Love his numbers look ridiculously better. But 5 drop passes tonight. I mean, handleable balls that just did not find their way into the breadbasket of the wide receivers. 5 drop passes and really not much when it comes to yards after the catch. We got a lot to talk about. This Green Bay Packers team, man, this offense is terrible. And here's the reason why. Let me give you this right out. Philadelphia came out and played a lot of too high tonight. They played it and they said, look, unless you can run the ball, this is what we're going to do. You're not going to get over the top on us. So it's either going to be quick out, short passes, or you're going to have to run the ball to bring us out of the too high and bring safeties up, and then maybe you can get something over the top. And the Packers were never able to do it. Josh Jacobs tonight ran his ass off best he could, but my God, how many times was he hit behind the line of scrimmage? 21 carries, 74 yards, 3.5 yards per carry. He had the 1 touchdown, which he manned up. I mean, that was grown-ass man running right there to take him into the end zone to make it 10-7. But just a terrible offensive performance by this Packers football team. And I don't know really where to go with this. They can't play 4 full quarters. And here's the reason why. It was exposed tonight. Their offensive line's terrible. They actually played better after Elton Jenkins went out. That's saying something. Your all-pro guard, who they switched to center, who you would like to have on the field, who left with either an ankle or a knee injury, because he got rolled up on, he leaves. They actually played better. Aaron Banks sucks. How many times did he play Olay tonight? I counted at least 3 plus the false start penalty. So I know of 3 occasions that he did. But my God, that guy's terrible. It's just that's as bad can be. I give all the credit in the world to the defense. Quay Walker played his ass off tonight. Micah Parsons, they double-teamed him. They triple-teamed him. He still was chasing Jalen Hurts around a little bit this evening. Not a bad performance defensively. The defense deserves all the credit in the world. But this offense is absolutely, positively putrid. Putrid. Josh Jacobs out of the backfield was your high receiver today. 5 catches, 33 yards. Christian Watson, 2 catches, 45 yards. His longest being a 25-yarder. Dontavian Wicks, 4 catches for 38 yards. You couldn't get anything down the field. The longest play of the day was a Christian Watson 25-yard pass. That's it. They went deep a couple of times. Drop passes. Dontavian Wicks had one. Christian Watson, had he turned around and not let it hit him in the helmet, he actually might have caught the pass going into the end zone rather than breaking it up. He did a heck of a job to break it up. But if he had just turned around, he might have got his hands on it. But you had Romeo Doubs with a big drop today. Josh Jacobs out of the backfield with a drop today. Dontavian Wicks with a big drop today. Bo Melton with a big drop today. Luke Musgrave, a mediocre pedestrian, 3 catches, 23 yards. His longest was a 9-yard catch. No yards after the catch. They desperately missed Tucker Kraft tonight. And if you look at the statistics, they're damn near even. 3rd down conversions, Packers were 5 of 13. Philadelphia 7 of 16. Total net yards tonight, 261 for the Packers, 294 for Philadelphia. The Packers ran 66 plays. Philadelphia ran 60. 4.0 yards per play 4.9 for Philadelphia. The rushing yards, 104 for the Packers, 111 for the Philadelphia Eagles, 157 throwing the ball for the Packers, 183 for the Eagles, 7 penalties for Philadelphia, only 4 for the Green Bay Packers. Packers turned the ball over twice tonight. Ultimately, that cost them. We all know that. They took points off the board when Jordan Love fumbled the football. There was no doubt about that. Otherwise, this game might end up even tied. And the only field goal that the Packers were able to muster was a 64-yarder. That was the Shankopotamus. And, even Harvissick wasn't going to hit that. His leg's good, but it's not that good the way the wind was down there tonight. And, again, I watched McManus a lot in warmups today. And 56-58 was probably about his comfort zone. And I even, like I said, I tweeted it out and said it wasn't going to happen. Time of possession, Packers 27-55. Philadelphia 32-05. There you go. Packers lose 10-7, 5-3-1. They are now behind Detroit. They are now behind the Bears. They are 7th now in the NFC. They've lost any kind of a tiebreaker to Philadelphia, and they have now lost 4 straight to the Philadelphia Eagles. And Philadelphia really didn't deserve to win this game either. Just some bad decision-making on Nick Sirianni's part. But just, man, oh, man, oh, man, what a pathetic performance by this Green Bay Packers offense. Pathetic in so many different ways. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. If you want to hit us up, feel free to go ahead and do so. Again, 877-867-1670. The Packers lose in ugly fashion. Let's get to the phone calls. And you know what? Let's do this. We got about a minute here. We got to hit the network at the bottom of the hour. So we got about 30 seconds till we get to the network. So I'll start taking phone calls coming up here momentarily. So don't go anywhere. But thanks to everybody on board. By the way, if you want to follow us, if you want to hit us up and watch for free, go to youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. youtube.com/Bill Michaels Show. We're on the Twitch app, the Kick app, the LinkedIn app as well. You can find us on X, on Twitter, @Bill_Michaels, @Bill_Michaels. Here we go to the network join. Welcome into all of you on the network all throughout the great state of Wisconsin. The Packers have an absolutely pathetic offensive performance tonight. 10-7, they get knocked off by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles defense played well, but the Green Bay Packers offense is completely anemic. Their offensive line is just a steaming pant load. They actually played better when Elton Jenkins went down. Aaron Banks, terrible. He had 3 whiffs tonight that I counted, plus the false start, which set him back. Did not have a good game whatsoever. He's the 54th ranked guard in the National Football League, and I'm sure his rankings are going to descend even more after tonight's craptastic performance. Meantime, nobody really stepped up. You had what I counted 5 drops tonight by the wide receiving core in just a pathetic showing. Otherwise, Jordan Love deserved a little bit better. Jordan Love having the fumble himself when he just tried to get rid of the football. Inexplicably, again, a bad decision at an inopportune time, basically taking points off the board. That bad call by Matt LaFleur on 4th down as the game was on the line to try to hurry him up to the line. And then your best player, who is your $55 million man, you take the ball out of his hands. You try to run the ball when your offensive line's getting their ass handed to them all night. Can't run the ball. They turn the ball over on downs. They give it back via fumble to Philadelphia. They finally get it. Then they try to run a play with 5 seconds to go, which was a quick out to just airball it into the stands to basically end up where you started to begin with, and that was a 64-yard field goal that McManus ended up Shankopotamus. So that's the way it ends. The Packers, like I'd stated, they are now behind Detroit. They are now behind Chicago. They are 7th in the NFC. They have lost a tiebreaker to Philadelphia and now 4 straight games to the Philadelphia Eagles. An absolutely craptastic performance tonight. Light the lines. We'll get to everybody. Let's start it out with our buddy L in Philadelphia. L, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Man, I'm pissed, man. I'm so sick and tired of this crap, man. These dudes is not good, man. And we gave the game away today.
Yep.
Like, Matt LaFleur, man, he needs, I swear to goodness, man. Yep. He is an idiot, man. I swear. Like, I mean, I can't back this dude no more. I cannot. You will not take the handcuffs off Jordan Love and don't call some real explosive plays. You call this vanilla behind offense that everybody in mind know exactly what you're doing. You got Brandon Graham, who hasn't even played, who just came in this week. And he's able to come in and able to know that we get ready to do a jet sweep to freaking Davion Williams. The one time you want to use him during the game, do a jet sweep, this dumb jet sweep stuff again. Then this 4th down, like, what do you think? Why do you think you're going to outsmart somebody?
Right.
Like, just run the play.
Yep.
Like, why do you rush to run the ball? Again, out of shotgun at that.
Right.
Like, this guy, I swear to goodness, man. Yeah, I just wanted to choke him. I swear, he just hurts my soul. The dumb stuff that he does, like, you're in the game. You can't blame nobody but him at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree. I look, the offense is putrid. The play action is non-existent. They did try to stay under center and run the football, like I explained, because they were running two-shell high all night long because they said, we're going to dare you until you run the football because you're not going to get anything past us. And nothing. I mean, there was no creativity. There was nothing to it. It was just basically a couple of handoffs. They were under center a lot. Remember, they ran 17 plays in the first in the first two quarters. And I think only 4 of them were pass plays, and then most of them were just handoffs, dead handoffs. It was a terrible offense tonight. It was terrible. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
This is the worst I've seen this offense, man.
Yep.
I can't even remember how bad this looks, and it doesn't look like it has any sign of getting better.
Nope.
Everybody getting hurt. And Aaron Banks is a bum.
He's terrible.
I swear to goodness, man.
He's terrible.
Who was it that we let walk and we could have kept him instead of
Well, they let go of Josh Myers, the center, to then move Elton Jenkins to center and brought Banks in. I would have rather kept Josh Myers.
Right now?
Josh Myers was the weakest link in the offensive line, and it was better than what this crap is.
Oh my goodness, this dude Aaron Banks is just like a turnstile, man.
Yep,
it's unbelievable. Oh my goodness. I'm so furious right now because I got to deal with these idiots here in this city.
I know.
And they swear they did something. Like, these dudes are not that good.
No, I
can't even get my thoughts together, Bill. I'm so sorry, man.
Look, they're as bad as the Packers. They just won the game. They just figured out a way to win the game. But they're as bad as the Packers. That was a putrid offense that they ran out there tonight, Philadelphia did. I give a lot of credit to the Packers defense. They played their asses off, and they played with speed and ferocity. But that was a putrid offense they ran out there tonight. And Jalen Hurts was off. I mean, how many balls did he overthrow tonight?
Yeah, I agree. But this is going to be a tough one, man. I can't even get my thoughts together, man. I'll call back tomorrow and we'll talk, man.
All right, buddy.
Use something therapeutic. Thank you.
Try to get some sleep, man. Talk to you later. That's L. He lives in Philly. He lives in Philly. He's got to live with that crap. He lives in Philly. Let's go to our buddy Gerard. He's got to be seething. Gerard, how you doing, man?
Hey, Bill. Lovely call though in shotgun on 4th and 1. That was
terrible.
Great. Wasn't that wonderful?
Terrible.
I go, he's going to get caught 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That was the dumbest thing. Jacob, and then the other play with Jacobs where he flared out, where he turned to the wrong side, he still would have been running. He still would have been running if he turned the right way. When Love threw him that ball that time, there was nobody on that side of the field. And then you have the receivers running into each other down the field when Hobbs was breaking wide open.
Right.
Then he throws underneath the Musgrave, right? When Watson was breaking open, that's when LaFleur went nuts with his iPad and was carrying on like a mental patient. Now you're getting the LaFleur throwing the hissy fit on the sideline every time Love makes a mistake because he's deflecting. That's what he does, you know? And then when you have a game like this, and as good of a game as Quay Walker played, he made a big-time mistake because he was in between rushing Hurts and covering Barkley. And if you watch the play, he left Barkley to go, and he didn't need to at all.
And that was the 49-yard run.
That's right. If he would have stayed with Barkley, the pass would have been incomplete, or he would have had him right there.
Right.
And it was a really bad, I hate them. He plays really good when he plays close to the line now. It's the opposite of what he was doing a couple of years ago. He wasn't good at the line. Now he's improved a lot. But a lot of times they make too many mistakes. You can't make mistakes on that. And you can't let Hurts complete a 3rd and 16-yard when it was 3rd and 12, he makes a 3rd and 16-yard pass.
Right.
You can't have it.
I agree.
You can't have it. You can't. Look, it's good. Look, this is let's be honest. This is a good team that can have very good games, but it's not a primetime team at all.
No.
The coaches.
This offense is as bad as, and thanks, Gerard, as always, man, because we can go on and on. This offense is as bad as I can remember, and they don't have an identity. Their offensive line is getting their ass whipped. And whether it's Banks or whether it's Jenkins or whether it's Ryan or whether it's Tom, or it doesn't matter. Somebody's screwing up on almost every play. You can just watch it. There's pressure coming from one side or the other, or somebody's not, moving on when they got a guard pulling or what have you. They're just not getting there in that percentage of time. It goes back to what Matt LaFleur said. It's a myriad of detail-oriented mistakes that is costing this offense. And there is no time for Love to set things up downfield because they're playing too high, so you can't necessarily get behind them because the pass rush is in his face. So that's the reason last week against Carolina, they kept throwing the quick outs. They kept going those dink and dunks. And then finally Carolina said, well, that's all you're going to do. We're just going to play up and keep the two shell back. You can't go deep, and we're going to rush you. And that's what they did. And it happened again tonight because the blueprint is written. If your offensive line sucks, then we're just going to keep coming after you, and you can't get anything over the top, which means you're going to have to go intermediate passes, which normally with Tucker Kraft, that can work, but you don't have the guy with the yards after the catch anymore. Luke Musgrave's not that guy. So you couldn't get anything in gear. I completely agree with you. 877-867-1670. Hit us up again, 877-867-1670. Let's go to Mike listening to us down in Rockford. Mike, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Yeah, Bill, let me talk you off the ledge here. I agree with you. The frustration, this game was there to be won. But we were looking at two really good defenses, okay?
Right.
Packers are decimated. They lost their number one receiver, Tucker Kraft. Their other injuries, Golden didn't play.
Right.
The other guys are hurt. Watson's not 100%, okay? So, I mean, I know we need to be hard on this team, but I mean, don't you believe that maybe a little bit they're injured, they're beat up,
yeah.
And the Packers defense can shut out anybody.
I think that defense played their ass off. What was disappointing was they had numerous opportunities with 5 drops tonight, and the offensive line, when they needed it most in certain situations, couldn't stop anybody. And Banks is terrible. I'm not even going to.
No, I agree.
He sucks. He's terrible.
He sucks. And the offensive line is the problem.
Somebody should have him arrested for stealing money in Green Bay. They seriously should. He sucks. So he
one last
should be
thing,
on
Bill.
like a go-kart right now.
Absolutely. That's like stealing from a bank. Same thing. One last thing, though. I mean, okay, so I heard a thing on another news sports channel today on the TV. When the first really cold game, players are not used to catching the ball when it's fired in there. I mean, I'm not making excuses. These guys are multi-million-dollar players. But I unfortunately, I live in the Chicago, closer to Chicago, so I got Chicago. I watched the Bears. They had a bunch of drop passes, too. That's when it's really cold out, they're not used to it. It takes a while to get used to it. That ball is rock hard. I mean, I played high school football. And let me tell you, when November came around and we played the playoffs, a lot of guys were dropping balls. It's a whole different ball coming at you. I'm not making excuses, but you're right. The defense, they built this. The defense is to win. You never would have thought halfway through the season, the defense is what's going to, of course, after they signed Micah Parsons, yes. But before that, nobody thought it was going to be the defense that was going to be winning them the games. It was going to be the offense, and they're looking terrible. I agree. They're out of sync. There's no rhythm. Jordan Love didn't play a horrible game, but he could have played better too. I mean, some of those passes were off as well.
Right. Oh, I agree with that. He missed open receivers downfield tonight. He didn't see them.
Yep.
And some of the passes he threw were high and off. I mean, he wasn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but he didn't get help either.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill, I'll talk to you during the week. Sorry, man. It just sucks.
Yeah, I know. It sucks big time, Mike. Appreciate it. Like I said, when you think about this game, how big this game was, it's one loss. I get it. You're still 5-3-1, but now you're third in the division behind Detroit and Chicago. Now you have to beat Detroit in Detroit. You got to get Minnesota when you come back home. You cannot stub your toe at MetLife Stadium this coming weekend, and you got to at least split with the Bears, or the Bears are going to overtake you. The Bears have now overtaken you. Bears are 6-3, Packers 5-3-1, which means you're 7th in the NFC now. And you're barely hanging on if today were the playoffs, the wild card spot. There's still a lot left to play, but there is nothing promising about this team that makes you think they're going to go on some kind of an epic roll at this point and really kind of put strings of wins together to end this season on a high note. 877-867-1670. Let's go to John. John, welcome to the program. John, listening to us in Elkhart Lake. John, how you doing?
Hey, Bill. Wish I was doing better. But hey, loss is a loss. I guess I just want to touch on like clock management again, like Matt LaFleur there at the end with that Josh Jacobs on the 4th down play.
Yeah.
This keeps on coming up, like where you think he's going to maybe nip that in the bud, and he's like going to come up with a great play. But I don't know why you don't call a timeout with like a minute 30 left.
No
That's
idea.
the best play you got. Like, I don't know. I just don't see there. I guess one other thing, Sean Ryan didn't look that bad replacing Jenkins in center.
No.
Jenkins has looked lost at center all year long. So, like, what's he doing there? He should be playing guard in the first place. And then last thing, penalties. Again, like just the execution. What are those? Four penalties, I think it was on offense.
They had a total of 4 penalties. They only had a couple on offense because they had the defensive pass interference, and then I think they had a defensive penalty towards the end of the game as well. But they
illegal formations. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Two of
that's
those.
what it was. Yeah.
Drive killers.
Yep. No, I agree with that.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yep.
Just frustrating.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, the Packers were only 4 penalties tonight. It wasn't a terrible penalty night, but you had a couple of them that came at very inopportune times, without a doubt. I'll say this: this is what I would do if I'm Matt LaFleur. Sean Ryan's your center. Elton Jenkins is back at guard. Banks is on the bench, and then Walker, Jordan Morgan. It's his time to put up or shut up, and then Zach Tom back at the tackle position. That's the way I would go. That would be my offensive line. That way you've kind of you've only changed out one position. Jordan Morgan was going to be a guard starter anyway. So put Jordan Morgan over at your right guard, Zach Tom at your right tackle, Elton Jenkins at your left guard, Rasheed Walker at your left tackle, and stick Sean Ryan in the middle. Banks, he can go rob one for all I care, because that's what he's doing right now by stealing money from the Green Bay Packers. That guy stinks. Let's go to, let's do this. No, I'll take another phone call. Let's go to Cole, listening to us in Westchester, PA. Cole, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Hi, Bill. I don't even know anymore. At this point, we can have all our guys back, but the play calling in situations is still very bad. I get we can't throw deep balls, but you cannot tell me that Luke is not better than 3 targets this game. And we drafted him to be starting over Kraft before Kraft came along and did his thing, but 3 targets for Luke, and we can't throw the ball deeper than 20 yards? Like, why are we not throwing to him more?
Well, they couldn't get the ball downfield because the offensive line was so bad, so they weren't even coming up to stuff to run. So they were just sitting back waiting for you.
I completely understand that.
Passes. Yeah, go ahead.
I completely understand that. But then Jordan Love is taking 7, 8, 9 step backs. And if that's the case, we can get the ball downfield.
Yep.
What about 3-step hitches, 3-step slants? I don't think I saw one slant this whole game. I don't think I saw one slant route this whole game.
I think they only ran like 2 or 3 play action plays. That's completely out of their playbook.
So Jordan Love has been in this league way too long to not. I still don't think he can read the defense the right way. I don't understand what it is. Like something about how he reads the defense is not right. And teams now are just blitzing him, saying, "You figure it out. We're going to blitz you. You figure it out." And there are throws where if he has a second or two to even like take his time a little bit, he can hit, and he just panics and goes. So for the love of God, Bill, Jordan Love, every deep ball is off his back foot.
Right.
Why can he not step into a throw? And is his fundamentals? Are we not coaching it? Are we not seeing it? Or is he just refusing to do it? But every deep ball never seems like it's a targeted deep ball. It's just he just throws it up and hopes someone catches it. Yeah. And I don't understand it, Bill. I'm frustrated. I don't get it.
Pressure in his face, and it has become habitual. I would agree with that. Appreciate the phone call. I can't argue with that. Now, when you talk about him reading defenses, there was 2 or 3 times tonight he locked on one guy or went to the primary and had a secondary guy wide open. And I think Gerard actually noted that when I was watching him on Twitter tonight, where had Romeo Doubs wide open. Then another one, he went to Doubs, Christian Watson, wide open. I mean, had he just looked off the coverage for a split second, he would have seen. I mean, guys were wide open. And your guess is as good as mine. But I think it all starts up front. I think it starts with not getting skittish in the pocket because here comes the pressure. By the way, here's one of the other reasons teams blitz him, and because when he's in the pocket, really not pressured, he's one of the highest rated quarterbacks in the National Football League. When he's in the pocket, then under pressure and on the move, he's one of the worst quarterback rating in the National Football League. One of the worst pass percentages, completion percentages, touchdown percentages, all of it. That's the reason they heat him up. That's the reason they get after him. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Tommy listening to us in Dallas, Texas. Tommy, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Hey, doing well, Bill. Was at the game. Disappointing, to say the least. I got a couple thoughts for you. I want to get your take on it, and then I'll shut up and listen. First, Bill Melton. They go wide receiver for him, and then they turn him into a corner, and then he becomes a wide receiver again, and then they expect him to show up in a big game, right? I understand the wide receiver injuries and all that, but, I mean, they give a roster spot to a kicker, and then, you know, we're down to a corner that they've converted to become back to a wide receiver, and they expect him to show up in big games.
Yeah.
Really frustrating from the coaching staff there.
Yeah.
And then my last point, it just seems that Micah doesn't set the edge. I mean, I understand him being aggressive, and I know the defense played great. But, I mean, how many times did Jalen Hurts step up in the pocket and run out to the side that Micah was supposed to be setting the edge?
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was frustrating from him in particular. And I like his aggressiveness, but when you get 0 sacks and have running quarterback like Jalen run out, it's just it leaves a lot to be desired on the field, you know.
Yep. No, I get it. I appreciate the phone calls, and that's been 2 weeks where Micah Parsons has not. And here's the thing: I'm not blaming Micah. Micah's got triple teams at him. Micah Parsons has triple teams coming at him. Really didn't do a whole lot tonight. No quarterback hurries. Had a couple of tackles. No quarterback hurries. No quarterback sacks. Nothing. Packers tonight total had 6 yards tackle for loss tonight. 6 yards. No sacks. No quarterback hurries. Again, no sacks. No quarterback hurries tonight. None. Not a one. Weren't able to get to Jalen Hurts. They did a really good job up front in the trench. Again, you can win in the trenches, but they kept him at bay with the run game, and they kept him at bay with the fakes to Barkley, a little bit of play action here and there. Just they did enough. But their offense, let's be honest, that Eagles team was very, very, very beatable. Very beatable. All right, let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Don't go anywhere. We got all kinds of people, okay? Jordan's in Eau Claire. Stefan's in Seattle. We got people all over the country wanting to chime in on this one. Packers take a loss 10-7 in an absolutely positively craptastic game at Lambeau Field. Stay tuned. We got a whole lot more of the Green and Gold postgame show. Don't go anywhere. We're going to continue to get your reaction coming up next.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. 10-7. The Green Bay Packers fall in craptastic fashion to the Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau Field, and they go to 5-3-1. They now trail both Detroit and Chicago in the division. They have lost any tiebreaker capabilities with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they are now on the outside looking in when it comes to the NFC, and they've got to right this ship. And the most, not even the playoffs at this point, the most concerning thing is the offensive line and this awful offense. Just for lack of a better term, the offense is just terrible. 877-867-1670. Green and Gold Postgame Show. We're live at Burkle Sports Bar and Grill. We're right behind Stadium View. That's where you can find us. Come on over. There's plenty of room, and there's plenty of people here that are, well, for lack of a better term, they're drowning their sorrows here tonight. And some Eagles fans are in the house, but for the most part, it is a lot of angry, what the hell just happened, Packers fans joining us here inside Burkle's Sports Bar and Grill. All right, let's do this. Let's get back to it. Let's go to Frank in North Carolina. Frank, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Hey, good. Thanks for taking my call, Bill.
You bet.
3 things. One, I agree 100% the offense is trash. Second of all, this illegal formation business. Don't we practice the formation in practice?
Yep, they do.
It should never happen. Never. And the third thing is, on TV they mentioned that McManus was as close to 100% as he's been for a while. Why can't we get the guy that's 100% last week and this week? Could have made a big difference. Thanks for taking my call, Bill.
No,
Have a good
appreciate
night.
it. I don't think Haversack was going to hit a 64-yarder either, to be honest with you. I watched them both kick. And like I said, McManus was good from 56 to maybe 60. I think 64 was just a bit out of his reach. And on the kick in which they called timeout, he missed it by a couple of yards. Excuse me. So maybe, but then he just overkicked the ball and tried to really crush it. It's kind of like when you play golf and you're trying to just crush a drive and you just shank the hell out of it. That's what he did. He shankopotamus the damn thing. But what concerns me more is not taking a timeout on that fourth down play. That craptastic throw it out of bounds with 5 seconds to go in the game. I don't know why they even did that, to be honest with you. The 2 turnovers that they had tonight, which were both unbelievably costly, because the one that Jordan Love, whatever he tried to do by just throwing it into the air and losing the football on the way up, took points off the board. They were in field goal range. They were deep in Philadelphia territory when that happened. He took points off the board. I mean, all of that, it should have never got down to a McManus 64-yard field goal. And, the whole thing's about, illegal formation and stuff. It was one call. And, what really bothered me more, to be honest with you, was the fourth down play in which the Packers got called for a false start. And that was nowhere near as egregious as the fourth down tush push. They clearly jumped on that play. Clearly. They showed it on, I think they showed it on TV, if I'm not mistaken, because I saw the replay up in the press box. Clearly. And they still don't officiate that thing worth a damn. So there's a lot here to blame, but they've abandoned the play action. Tuchel is killing them. They can't run the football because their offensive line is so bad, and they're putting their defense in precarious positions because they're turning the ball over. I don't know. I don't know where else to go from here, to be perfectly honest with you. let's do this. We got a lot of people on hold. Stefan from Seattle, Jordan in Eau Claire. Stay right where you're at. You'll be first out of the chute. We also have Jordan Love we're going to hear from, Robert and Madison. We got everything. So don't go anywhere. We're coming up on the top of the hour. All I'm going to do is take a quick break, and then we're going to come right back. So don't go anywhere. We're going to get back into this. We're going to hear from Jordan Love. We're going to hear from Matt LaFleur. We're going to hear inside the locker room as well. We're going to continue to take your calls. I got emails and text messages to get to. This is a game that might have snapped it for a lot of people. Packers lose 10-7 in just an ugly performance, offensively speaking, at Lambeau Field tonight. They go to 5-3-1. 5-3-1. And like I said before and at the top of the show, they are now behind Detroit. They are now behind Chicago for third place in the NFC North. Not a good place to be, and they lost the tiebreaker tonight as well to Philadelphia. Things are not trending in the right direction for this team whatsoever. Don't go anywhere. A lot more of the Green and Gold postgame show. Give me about 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
Ready for the snap and a timeout taken. The team looks a little bit lost. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, the winning play is simple. A whole house of new windows as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 6 years.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no interest. A championship move from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No doubt, Wayne. And unlike the opponent's defense, Pella Windows actually stopped the drafts.
The draft picks we gave up for number one had to be the steal of the century.
True, but I'm talking about replacing old drafty windows.
Roger that. With energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out, you'll stay as toasty as a fan at a warm weather preseason game.
Pay as low as $297 a month for a whole house of new Pella windows.
Don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today.
Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 11/30/2025.
For nearly 40 years, ABC Wisconsin Apprenticeship has been helping men and women transform themselves into highly skilled trade professionals. These skills are in demand and provide strong wages and benefits for a bright future. If you're a hands-on person who likes the feeling when you get projects done, apprenticeship could be for you. Go to buildyourcareerwi.org or just search online for ABC of Wisconsin.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
All business owners want the same thing, to make their business succeed. At Rural Mutual, they help that happen. As the third largest writer of commercial business in Wisconsin, they take the time to learn your business so they can properly protect you. Call your local agent today or visit ruralmutual.com.
Rural Mutual Insurance, keeping Wisconsin strong.
Blue 58, go! Green 18! Green 18, touch!
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Packers lose 10-7 at Lambeau Field. Packers lose, and they now fall behind Detroit. They fall behind Chicago. And it was, to say it was ugly would be a legitimate understatement. This offensive line stinks. They have no cohesion right now. They played actually a little bit better once Elton Jenkins ended up going down. My suggestion, and I said this a little bit earlier, I said I would pull Banks, put Elton Jenkins back at guard, Sean Ryan becomes your center, and then I would put Jordan Morgan over at your right to guard position. Your right tackle would be Zach Tom. Your left tackle would be Rasheed Walker, and that would be the offensive line I would go with. And just admit the mistake on Banks and just move on. And he would then become a backup that's getting a lot of money and just because he can't figure it out. He is slow. He whiffs. His hands are bad. And I don't know what else to say. That's the way I would do it. I think you weaken two positions by trying to move one. And it's not working. That would be my fix to the offensive line. That being said, there's some other problems here. Obviously, you're missing some of your wide receivers. Your weaponry has started to become that pool is becoming less and less deep. Obviously, you can't really afford any more injuries. And just tonight, stone fingers not good. 5 drop passes out of that Green Bay Packers wide receiving core, and some of them in very much key situations. Just a very disappointing performance. Defense, look, we can nitpick certain things in that defense, but that defense did everything they could to keep this team in the game. And come on, they held the Philadelphia Eagles to 10 points. If you would have told me they held Philadelphia to 10 points, I would have said you ran away with the game and you hid with it. You won the ball game easily, going away. And they just didn't. They just didn't. And now you've got to win next week at MetLife. You've got to come back and beat the Minnesota Vikings in your division to get yet another divisional win. And then you got to go on a roll. Then you got to get Detroit in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. You got to come back and show some kind of moxie in these 3 games, getting that stretch run prepared. Because man, now you're starting to take on some water here, and you feel bad for the defense because the defense played their hearts out tonight. 877-867-1670. You had bad play calling tonight, inexplicably not taking the timeout. You had some missed throws by Jordan Love. I'm not going to put it all on him because he did have 5 passes dropped tonight that were actually in the hands. So it was not a good situation, to say the very least. Let's do this. Let's go to Jordan listening to us in Eau Claire. Jordan, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Hey, Bill, you totally touched on the defense. They played their hearts out, man. Against the defending Super Bowl champions, you got Devontae Smith, Antonio Brown, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. But what I was wondering is when you get towards the 50-yard line on offense and you got a 3rd and 8, every time they pass the ball, they run, and then they pass the ball. Why not try to do a quarterback draw or a running back draw or try to trick them to get closer to the first down, if not get the first down, and, not have to rely on going on 4th down every time. It's run, pass.
I agree with you. What bothers me about certain things is that there is no creativity when it comes to play action anymore. There's none. Part of it's because they're not good up front. So, look, for as much as we can talk about the play calling, it all stems on guys actually doing their jobs on the offensive line. And the offensive line tonight was terrible. They were terrible.
Oh, yeah.
How many times did Josh Jacobs get the handoff in the backfield and somebody was already on him?
Yep. Well, a lot of that has to do with the play call, though. They expect the run. You look at that fumble that Edgerrin Cooper punched out. That was a 3rd and long. They ran the ball. They would have the first down if Edgerrin Cooper didn't punch that ball out. Why not try that on our side? You know
what? The play action for Philadelphia worked tonight. I tweeted it out. I said, oh, by the way, play action does work if you actually run it every now and then and you set it up properly. There's no creativity in that sense. I appreciate the phone call. I agree with you. Thanks so much. Let's do this. Let's get to who else we got? We got Stefan from Seattle. Stefan, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, we've had better nights.
Well,
that's for
as
damn
good
sure.
as I can do, but
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a brutal loss, obviously.
Terrible.
And kind of to pick up what you were saying, though, like the offensive line. I mean, the game seems like it's kind of won in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
And we were not doing very good in the offense, but like you said, too, like once Elton Jenkins went out and Sean Ryan came out of center, all of a sudden it looked a little bit better. And if we can get Elton Jenkins back to guard, like you said, I mean, you just kind of stole my thunder. But I do agree with that call from Texas. It seemed like Micah Parsons was kind of taking the outside right a lot.
Yeah.
The route.
Oh, there was no doubt. He was trying to get to the quarterback and didn't always set the edge. But, some of those things were few and far between.
That was not good.
Right. And again, as much as we can sit here and nitpick the defense, they gave up 10 points. I mean, short of pitching a shutout, they played their asses off tonight. And the one thing I will say, even when they didn't set the edge, boy, did you see how much speed that defense now has in the way they play and getting to the football? That was tremendous.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, looking forward now, I mean, we got the Giants, right?
Right.
And then if we can sweep the NFC North divisions, then
that
my
changes
goodness,
things.
we're in great shape.
Yeah.
But if we get 2 out of the 3, particularly, I think the Lions and the Bears will be more important than
that. I agree with.
But obviously, we want to win at home.
Yeah.
But we're right in it.
Right.
And again, it's about the offense having a chance to grow. Obviously, it seems like it's
think about it this
thing
way.
every year.
Think about it this way. I appreciate the phone call. Think about it this way. If now you almost are in a position where you can win any game, but you can also lose any game at any time. We've seen it against Cleveland. We saw them tie against Dallas. We've seen it against Carolina. Now we see it against Philadelphia, where this team cannot play complementary football. They cannot play a full 4 quarters of offense. This is the reason that this team is one of the best and highest scoring offenses in the fourth quarter in the entire NFL. It's because they're always playing from behind and coming from behind in this fast and furious pace to try to open it up and try to get points on the board to win a ball game or maybe to extend a ball game or what have you. That's one of the reasons why. And just in watching this team, they get a good drive, they get something going, they shoot themselves in the foot, and then it is just vanilla. It is nothing. It is bland until they get punched in the face. And then they get punched in the face, and then they respond a little bit, and then they maybe put some points on the board, and then they go back to being, what they were, and then they all of a sudden have to scramble at the end of a ball game in possessions to be able to either win a game or come back and win a game. And that's the reason they're a better offense in the second half, and that's the reason they're even a better offense when it comes to playing in the fourth quarter. Let's do this. Let's go to Robert listening to us in Madison. Robert, how you doing, man? What's going on? Robert's not there. No, go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, hi, how you doing?
Good, man.
Hi, a couple things for you. My first question is, I was wondering, so are these offensive linemen who report ineligible and say illegal formation, is that on coaching or is that on the offensive line?
No, when they report eligible, basically what they were doing is they were running 2 tight end sets, and they were bringing in a lineman as an extra tight end, as an extra blocker because the offensive line was so bad. And on the alignment situation, if you don't line up belt to belt to belt down the offensive line, and if you're stepping back, then you're not on the line of scrimmage. They call it an illegal formation. It's just basically looking at the guy next to you to make sure you're far enough up on the offensive line. But that's what they were doing. They were bringing in the extra tight. They were bringing in 70 to make sure that he was an extra blocker. They were never really going to use him as a weapon, so to speak. They were bringing in the extra blocker because it was a sieve. The offensive line couldn't sustain itself, so they were doubling down on the end because they were getting all kinds of pressure on Jordan Love. They needed to do something.
I mean, terrible offensive line play, terrible offense all night. I mean, but the other thing I have for you, Bill, just the end of game management by LaFleur. I mean, looking back to the Cowboys game, driving down the field, dilly-dallying, clock almost hit 0.
Yeah.
Tonight, second to last drive on the Jacobs fumble. Like, why are you in shotgun running laterally?
I have
just
no
go
idea.
under center.
To not take a timeout.
Yeah.
It was an important play. It was probably the most important play of the game, and you didn't even take a timeout. You rushed it, and that's what you came up with? I agree with you. Man, it was putrid. Appreciate the phone call. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's do this. We got Matt LaFleur speaking to the media. Let's take a listen to what Matt LaFleur had to say.
I was proud of our guys' effort. I thought they battled for 4 quarters, and we knew it was going to be a 4-quarter fist fight. And I thought our defense was outstanding, and unfortunately, just too many mistakes offensively to overcome it. And I've said this many times: you hold good football teams to 10 points, you should win the football game, in my opinion. But obviously, didn't do enough offensively, and we got a short week. Can't feel sorry for ourselves. We got to figure it out, and come back and be better.
What did you want to do offensively going into this game? Where did you think you could?
Well, we wanted to try to establish the run game and try to build off of that. I thought there was some moments where we did a decent job, but ultimately it wasn't enough. It seemed to me that when we got in some of those critical moments, it wasn't necessarily the first and second down. It was more the money down, like third down, fourth down, where we just malfunctioned.
Fine with Jordan trying to throw the ball away there on the fumble, so he doesn't take the sack to push you out of field goal range.
Yeah, I mean, I got to go back and see it. However, the guy's battling, so it's not for a lack of effort. Obviously, you'd rather take a sack than fumble the ball, but I know he's trying to get rid of the football and do everything in his power, and it is what it is. We did, but we also were trying to preserve as much time as possible. I mean, shoot, we had a chance at the end of the game right there. Took a shot. Unfortunately, came up. It was incomplete to Christian down the field. But yeah, that definitely crossed my mind. I just thought 4th and a half a yard or whatever it was, 4th and a yard. You got to be able to convert in those situations. We'd done it earlier in the game. And just didn't get it done. That's extremely disappointing.
What's in the big picture? What's gone wrong offensively? I mean, you guys scored a lot of points in a lot of games to start the season. The last 15
Yeah, it's been very, very choppy, I would say, as of late.
So it's mid-season. I'm sure you would like your guys to be ascending too. Why has it gone the wrong direction?
That's a great question, Bill. I don't think I'd be answering the question if I had the answers for it. I think when you look at it, like I mentioned, just a lot of those situational ball, we just weren't clean and had, whether it was penalties, there was a drop there on a 4th down. I'll always look at myself first and foremost. Are we putting the guys in the right place? Do we have opportunities to throw completions? I don't think it was, they played soft zone the majority of the game. I would say in the second half, they started to man us up a little bit more. And they're just kind of waiting for you to mess up. And unfortunately, we messed up way too many times.
Melton quite a bit. Has Heath not been practicing well, or what did you like about having Melton out there ahead of him most of the night?
No, it wasn't necessarily that at all. It was just, just how are you going to use your receivers in certain situations? Bo is a guy that we've used to take the top off quite a bit. And it just, I would say there was a lot of guys kind of in and out of the lineup. I mean, obviously we've been, had a few injuries at that position, and it was kind of a free for all. I would say the majority of that second half of who was in, who was out. We're running some deeper development stuff to try to open up, that mid-range passing game where we thought we could take advantage of. And it was somewhat successful at times, but yeah, I would just say it's a byproduct of just guys, Rome goes down, and you just have different guys running in and out of the lineup, and just how you're using those guys. I'll be honest with you, Rob, I don't have a ton of information right now. I just know that he was ruled out, and they said he was not going to be coming back.
It's obvious Tucker Kraft goes down. He's a focal point of the offense.
Sure.
You just talked about the intermediate game. He's a big part of that. You play a lot of 2 tight end sets tonight, not nearly as much for obvious reasons. How do you, as a play caller, have to adjust? Not only that he's not there and the production he brings, but also just going to different personnel packages and how that affects the way.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're struggling with, finding the right solutions right now. So we got to take a long, hard look at that and come up with a better plan. Bottom line, you score 7 points in this league, you're probably not going to win many games. So that's give them a lot of credit. I thought they did an outstanding job. That's a good defense. They got really good players over there. I think Vic Fangio, you guys know how I feel about him. But ultimately, we have to do a much better job, and it always starts with myself.
I understand you guys are 5-3-1, still have a
Sure.
playoff spot right now, and you're going to say you're always coaching for your job, but you don't have a long-term extension. With the way things have gone this season, do you think you're coaching for your job?
I'm not. I'll leave that for everybody else to decide. I'll just focus on the day-to-day and trying to do. I feel like you're always coaching for everything in this league. You know, that's just my mindset. It's always been that way. You know, you can't ever exhale. You got to always be pushing, and that's just my mindset. So, and that will be my mindset until they tell me not to coach them anymore.
There you go. That's Matt LaFleur talking to the media. A question about his job, saying, look, you don't have a long-term extension, as a matter of fact, and Ed Policy said he's not going to have a lame duck coach. So do you feel like you're coaching for your job now? That's an interesting question. Those are starting to pop up, and those discussions now are going to get louder with each and every ugly loss, especially when the offensive unit plays so unbelievably poorly. And an interesting question fired at Matt LaFleur. All right, let's do this. Got a lot of people on hold. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot of people over on the line, the live stream, text messages coming in, emails coming in. We're going to try to get to all of it. Also, we have Jordan Love for you coming up. Don't go anywhere. The Packers lose 10-7 to the Philadelphia Eagles. 5-3-1 is their record now, and they are now third in the NFC North. Stay tuned. We got more of the Green and Gold Postgame Show. We are live here at Burkle Sports Bar and Grill in Green Bay. Come on over where a couple of seats remain anyway. It's a packed house. Stay tuned. We got more after this.
This is the Green and Gold Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You got to hit it, bang it, rock it, put it in the pocket.
9-7, the Green Bay Packers, they fall to the Philadelphia Eagles at Lambeau Field. The Packers now third in the NFC North, 5-3-1 behind both Chicago and Detroit. They have 2 games with Chicago upcoming still, in 2 within 3 weeks, as a matter of fact. And then they obviously have the Thanksgiving Day jaunt with Detroit over in Detroit. That is upcoming later this month as well. Plus, they still have 2 games with the Minnesota Vikings, but they don't necessarily have the Vikings to step over, so to speak, in the division. But nevertheless, a bad loss at Lambeau Field, a game in which they couldn't score points. I mean, that was the bottom line. They just couldn't score points tonight. And what a shame it is. 877-867-1670, 877-867-1670. Let's go to Jesse, listening to us in Louisiana. Jesse, how you doing tonight?
Bill. Oh, my God. Oh, so
terrible.
Usually I watch the game either alone or with my wife, and we have family in town. And so they were all watching it with me. I take my notes. I take it very seriously. And they're like looking at me like, why aren't the Packers scoring points?
Right.
You know, and I'm trying to explain to them, like, I don't know. And then they see like Matt LaFleur over there with the, the tablet. And they're like, oh, he's still looking at the tablet.
Yeah.
Like, at what point is he going to give up play calling, like Dan Campbell, like kind of like?
Because I don't think Stenovich is going to be calling plays, and that would be the only guy that would be the obvious choice behind Matt LaFleur. So Matt LaFleur is going to continue to call the plays, but I don't think that's going to change.
What do you think about glass half full? We've only lost 3 games by a combined 9 points. Like, is there any, like, how can we wake up tomorrow morning and not feel like bleak?
Right. You can look at it that way and say, hey, there's a glass half full, that if they figure this out with the way the defense has been playing for the most part, they still have a championship caliber defense. But the offense is so scattered right now. To me, and I'll be honest with you, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. Elton Jenkins goes back to guard. Banks is out. I'd put Sean Ryan at center. I'd go with Jordan Morgan at your right guard, Zach Tom at your right tackle, Rasheed Walker at your left tackle, and that would be my offensive line. Just admit you made a mistake with Banks, and at least then get back to familiarity with your left side of your line, with Elton Jenkins and Rasheed Walker being able to anchor that side. Sean Ryan then has to become a really good, stout center, and he was better tonight than Elton Jenkins was. And Jordan Morgan has to be the real deal. That's the way I would do it. And then if you can get your offensive line and then the trenches solidified, maybe your offense begins to flow a little bit better, and the protection of Jordan Love gets a little bit better. That's what I would do.
I love it, man. I listen every day, and y'all have a good night.
All right, buddy. Talk to you soon. There you go. Jesse drops off. Let's go to Jude, listening to us in Madison. Jude, how you doing tonight? What's going on?
You know what? Jude is just no longer not with us, so we can. I know. So we can go ahead and go to Mike from Lafarge.
Let's go to Mike in Lafarge. Mike, how you doing, man? What's going on? Mike.
You know what? He just dropped off too. How about Morgan from Louisiana? Morgan,
let's go. What up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
How are you? Hey, Bill, thanks for taking my call. I agree with you. I think of the defense. I think they played really, really well tonight. The last few weeks, even though we've been losing, I think the defense has played well enough for us to win. I think for me, the most disappointing thing that I see is that the Packers have all the talent in the world. You look at their offense, and you see sparks of it, and you see moments where they look really, really good, and then it just drops off. And I think that's a detriment to the coach. And I think I'm with Gerard now. I think if I'm Ed Policy, it's interesting that question came up, but if I'm Ed Policy, I'm looking at this as the rest of the season, you're coaching for your job. And so I would like to actually know what you think about that. If you're Ed Policy, are you saying that to LaFleur? Like, dude, like this has got to be better. Goody put everything in front of you. You need this needs to be fixed now. Like, this season is it for you. So I'd like to know your thoughts. Appreciate the opportunity to be on listen to you every day. So appreciate you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. No, I completely agree with you. I think that's the reason Ed Policy said we're not going to give an extension this year. I want to see how things kind of play out. I want to see where this team is at, and I want to gauge this franchise. And also, he's looking at Matt LaFleur in his now 7th year Is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Is it stagnant? Does a new voice, is it needed in that locker room? Do they need a new creative offensive guy to make this thing go, to make Jordan Love, to take him to the next level? I mean, there's so many things that I think Ed Policy's looking at. And, Goody whiffed on Banks, okay? Let's just throw that out. He whiffed on Banks. Banks is just not good. And they really kind of messed the offensive line up by making the moves, which is the reason I would go back the way I kind of explained it. So that being said, he also was the guy that orchestrated Micah Parsons. He also found a left tackle in the 7th round. He also found some good wide receivers that when they're healthy, the pool is extremely deep. So there are some good things there that Brian Gutekunst has done. I think Carrington Valentine has played extremely well since kind of being put into that spot after Hobbs went down with the injury. I also think that making Keyshawn Nixon your number one, it hasn't been a bad move. I think the defense we can't really look at and go, boy, they're terrible. Also, Edrin Cooper has excelled. Quay Walker's playing probably his best season. So there's a lot of things that are good there. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but I would completely agree that from this point on, I think Matt LaFleur has got to figure this thing out, and he's coaching for his job. I don't doubt that at all. And that's usually a really bad place to be, because when that happens, suddenly the wheels start to fall off usually. Now, let's see if Matt LaFleur, which at times I've said, hey, Matt LaFleur is starting to lose this thing. And then damned if he doesn't wrap his arms back around the organization and he puts the train back on the track and things end up looking pretty good. So we'll see. But I could not agree with you more that I believe that Matt LaFleur is indeed kind of coaching for the job here. Let's do this. Let's go to Alan listening to us in Milwaukee. Alan, how you doing tonight, man? What's going on?
Hey, Bill. Always good to talk to you. I think you hit the nail right on the head with your offensive line comment. This offensive line experiment has to end. You have to play your best players. Sit Banks down. Don't throw good money after bad. That's $77 million down the drain. So what? I think what happened last year was the Packers had that offensive line that collapsed in Philadelphia, and they were trying to miss and match all year long. You had how many different combinations of offensive line? Just play your damn best players, and who cares about the money? Now, in the Packers game, it came down to the best players that came through, and the Packers didn't. The Eagles, when Barkley made that catch and made that Packer miss, and then the wide receiver beat Adam Williams for TD, that's just their best players beating our best players. And we needed our best players to come through, and they didn't. And the people who are down on Jordan Love, he can't catch the ball. You hit the nail on the head again. How did you say 6 missed catches, right? Drops.
5 of them. 5 drops tonight that were
5 drops. Exactly. You cannot have that happen. These are pro wide receivers. The ball hits you in the hand, you have to catch that ball. How many times have Devontae Adams or Jordan, or not Jordan, but Jordy catch the ball? We need these wide receivers to make these catches, and it's just not happening. And as much as you want to blame everybody, the only thing I blame Love for is not fumbling the ball, and then LaFleur for not calling a timeout on 4th and 2. But otherwise, this game was a hard one.
That was baffling, and I appreciate the phone call. That not calling a timeout and putting them in that situation, and then that's the play you came up with on 4th down after not calling the timeout. I know he explained that he was trying to preserve the time. I understand all of that, but that was a crucial point in the game in which that was your best play. That's what you came up with. That was hot trash, man. That was hot trash, and that was garbage, to be honest with you. Let's do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We got more to get to. We got more people on hold. We're going to try to get to Jordan Love. We got Mike Clemens is going to join us from over inside Lambeau Field after he comes out from talking to some of the players after this just awful offensive performance and just a heartbreaking game for the Packers to lose 10-7. They held the Philadelphia Eagles, the defending champs, to 10 points, and they still walked away with a loss. We are live at Burkle Sports Bar and Grill here in Green Bay. Packers lose 10-7 to Philadelphia. We got more right after this.
This is the Green and Gold Postgame Show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 5 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 4 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
You got to hit it, bang it, rock it, put it in the pocket.
Welcome back. We are live. We're at Burkle's Sports Bar and Grill. Welcome to all of you watching the program all throughout the great state of Wisconsin and well beyond the borders, as we are loaded with people over on YouTube and all of our stations and all of our platforms. And thanks to everybody listening to us, whether it's at WMAM in Marinette or WPVL down in Platteville, WDUZ in Green Bay, and the mighty WOZN, the Zone in Madison. We appreciate you. Packers lose 10-7 to Philadelphia. They are now 5-3-1. They're behind the Lions and the Bears in the division, and they're behind the Bears now when it comes to the wild card standings as well. And this was a hurtful game for so many different reasons. Jordan Love spoke to the media, and we're going to just listen to a little bit of this, but this is Jordan Love talking to the media just a little while ago. Take a listen.
Fast. Looks like this is easy for me to say, but it looks like on the broadcast that they're pointing out what you're doing, where you're going, and what you're running. Did you catch that live? Is that a tendency you guys need to break, or was that just me seeing stuff?
Yeah, no, I think it's it's a call that we called a couple times, going fast throughout the game, and they probably heard the call and or were guessing. So there was a D lineman saying some stuff, but I still thought we had a light box. We could try and run it right there.
Do you make that play call, or does Matt making that through the headset, or are things going too fast and you have to do it?
Matt makes that play call.
Jordan, how do you get things going again?
Just got to get back to the drawing board. Same thing as last week, get back to the film session. Trying to find ways to figure out what we're not doing as well right now. What's kind of keeping us in a funk and not letting us kind of get into a rhythm. And just keep trying to build on the things we've done a good job of. So it always comes back to getting back to it next week and getting back to work.
Is it just concerning that you guys have played a lot of good football this year, and in the last 2 games here, you just couldn't get anything going whatsoever?
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely frustrating, as an offense. And it's, like I said, it's where we just got to look ourselves in the mirror and find ways to keep improving and keep figuring out what we've done good and what we're not doing as good of a job right now. And just keep working, but it's definitely frustrating.
I don't know if there's any parallels to 2023, but you guys got it going at the end of that season. You went on a really good run. And how do you do that with this group?
Yeah, we can definitely get to that. It's all about going 1 week at a time, like we said, but it starts with getting a win, getting a win and building upon that. Like you said, that's exactly what we did in 23. Just keep finding ways to go out there each week and get better. And, I think it's the mindset is just keep believing in the guys we got, and that's what we'll keep doing.
I get that you need to watch the film, and I understand that back to the drawing board, whatever. What do you think is wrong with your offense?
Yeah, we're just not. Yeah, we're not getting any consistency right now. We're not getting into a rhythm. We'll have a good play here, and then it kind of we'll have a negative play. Whether it's a lot of things. Whether it's a turnover, penalty, drop, sack. It's a lot of things. So it's just finding ways to keep the positive plays going and avoid these negative plays that we're getting. But I think we're just kind of shooting ourselves in the foot right now and getting in the funk of having some good plays and then not building off them properly and having a play that might hurt the drive and we can't overcome it.
Rob's question about 23, Matt said, let it rip, right? And that's when you took off that year, and he kind of let it rip as a play caller. Can you do that, or is the way teams are playing you with the soft zone stuff predicated on you got to get the running game going first before you can start letting it rip throwing? Yeah,
it's all of that. We got to find ways to attack the coverages we're getting and, find ways to keep, like I said before, finding plays that are working against that stuff and keep building upon that. But, obviously, the run game, I think we did some good things tonight. And then it's the same thing, like I said before, there's just plays that go backwards and aren't helping us. And then we can't overcome those things. But, we definitely got to find ways. It's 2 weeks in a row, kind of the similar style of defense. We got to find answers for it.
Are you guys going to games with the right way to attack? And if not, are you adjusting on the fly?
I do think we are. I think obviously we put a game plan throughout the week of, stuff we see on film and what we want to attack. And, if we get certain looks that, some of these plays are favorable against, we got to execute them. We got to take those shots and make the defense pay. But like you said, there's always going to be, looks that maybe we haven't seen on film, or a play might just not be, great versus the coverage we get. So we just got to find ways to keep executing on those. But no, we've been doing some good things. I think it's same process since I've been here that we're sticking to throughout the week of finding things that we like on film and trying to find ways to attack that if we get it in the game.
So there you go. That's Jordan Love after the ball game.
What does it feel like in the locker room as the offense when your defense is holding up their end of the bargain in those games?
Yeah, it's tough. Like I said before, it's disappointing. It's frustrating. You feel like as an offense, you're letting the defense down. because they're doing such a great job. Obviously, it's a really good offense over there. And, they stopped them for the majority of the game. And, we just didn't find ways to score. It's just not good enough. So it's definitely frustrating. But, we'll find ways to overcome this and to be better for sure.
There you go. That's Jordan Love after the ballgame talking a little bit with the media. Real quick before we take a break and go to Mike Clemens over inside Lambeau Field, let's go to John listening to us here in Green Bay. John, welcome to the program.
Bill, how we living? Still trying to navigate the Green Bay traffic. There's cones everywhere, so the vibes are still high. It's a great game. Great Lambeau Field crowd. The whole package showed up tonight.
Right.
We're actually headed back up north right now. But, hey, quick question for you, Bill. Haversick, the kicker, right? He's 10 for 10 on kicks this year. What was he doing tonight?
He was on the sidelines.
Gotcha.
He was not doing anything.
So I watched a lot of college football on Saturday, and I saw a number of college kickers hitting 55-yard field goals, right?
Right.
In the second half, down 3 points and then down 10 points.
Right.
You saw Green Bay punt from the 40-yard line and go for it on a 4th and 9 from the 40-yard line.
Right.
And you're just an unserious football organization in the year 2025 when all day yesterday the NFL kickers are going for 68, 69-yarders, and you're too scared to put your kicker out there down on Monday Night Football. There's no wind in the stadium. We're there. The plays aren't even moving. And you're going for it on 4th and freaking 9 when your guy that just set the franchise records on the sideline. For the people who just want Matt LaFleur to stop calling plays, stop fence sitting, man.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of Green Bay, man. What, you want that guy managing the game? Did you see that last drive? Did you see him ice his own kicker when he's trying to reset the franchise record after not trusting him the rest of the game?
Well,
none
it's
of the
funny.
decision-making makes any sense.
It's funny
It's
because
bad.
you say that because when I appreciate the phone call. You're right. I watched not Harvick. I watched McManus in warmups, and like I said, he was hitting 56 yards, no problem. He was. I mean, even the one that they tried to ice him on a timeout, he came up a couple of yards short on the 64-yarder. So you would figure when you're inside the foot. Now, the Jordan Love pass or fumble, whatever the craptastic play that was, and the bad decision making in that particular point in time, that took points off the board because that was a chip shot for McManus. But McManus right now, coming back from the injury, is about a 60-yard guy at the most. And I said that going into the game. I said he's about a 60-yard guy. And when they had him at 64, I said he's going to come up a few yards short. And then what happened was he tried to overkick it. I equate it to like a golf swing. When I try to kill my drive because I can see wide open fairway in front of me, and you try to crush it, you always hit it like crap. You always do. So that's what he tried to do. He tried to crush it, and he missed it. But the one prior to that, it was a 64-yarder that came up a couple yards short. I didn't have a problem with the kicker. What I had a problem with was some of the play calls. I just, they just, again, I can sit here all night and pontificate about certain things, but they can't get anything going in the trenches. They can't get anything consistent offensively going, and they really emphasize the run game tonight best they can. Play action, they've thrown out. There's very little play action in this offense anymore, which is really what got them there a couple of years ago, and cutting down the field in half and giving easy throws to Jordan Love and then hitting big ones down the field once they ended up bringing up the defense. There were so many things that they've kind of lost their identity on, I think, and they don't have a bye week to kind of get back to it. I don't know where you go from here unless you switch things up on the offensive line and you begin to dominate to where you can actually run the football, and then that opens things up for everything else. All right, let's do this. Mike Clemens is going to be joining us coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Packers lose to the Philadelphia Eagles 10-7 at Lambeau Field. We got more coming up right after this.
This is the Green and Gold postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Zone Radio Network.
Bill Michaels will resume in 3 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 2 minutes. Bill Michaels will resume in 1 minute. Bill Michaels will resume in 30 seconds.
Welcome back. We are live. We're at Burkle Sports Bar and Grill. We're here in Green Bay, right behind Stadium U. That's where you can find us. The Green and Gold postgame show continues on. The Packers lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Joining us on the hotline over inside Lambeau Field, a very disappointed locker room, I'm sure. Mike Clemens standing by. Michael, how you doing, pal?
Good, Bill. I spent most of my time just over in the Eagles, but then I did get down to the Packers locker room briefly. And the first person I want to talk to is the man who was really working hard out there, particularly in the first half of the game, was Josh Jacobs. He ended up with 21 carries for 75 yards. His longest was 11, but he kept on chipping away and chipping away. And, you know, I don't really have a real breakdown of what happened in this game. This is going to be pure emotion. So this is Josh Jacobs sitting there and realizing we just went toe-to-toe with the Super Bowl champs and came up short at home.
I mean, give credit to them. They're a good team. I still feel like we did a lot out there that, you know, prevented us from winning. Not making any excuses. Got to clean up the work. A lot of the game is messy, especially after creating, you know, good plays. We just got to be more consistent, man, as an offense, man. Our defense held us down, stopped them real good, play like a championship defense. So I can't really just put my finger on it, man. I mean, speaking for myself, man, I feel like, you know, I've been trying to give it, you know, this team and, you know, and our guys everything I have. It's a lot of plays out there. I'm getting banged up, still playing through stuff. It just is what it is. I mean, it's football. You got to have a certain type of mentality. You got to have a certain type of heart to play this game at a high level. And man, we got to find ways to get it done.
You know, Mike, defensively speaking, and he's right, the defense played their asses off tonight. Micah Parsons did everything. He was trying to track down Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. They were a step ahead, but, man, what a defensive effort tonight.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Bill, I watched the Packers, and then I watched the Eagles. And I watched the Eagles carefully through the binoculars. And I'm telling you, you know what? It looked like the 85 Bears. It looked like the Bill Parcells Giants. I mean, these guys, they're big. Their fundamentals are sound. It's simple. There's nothing they do that's fancy. Jalen Hurts is just a very much straightforward, but it's very good, solid execution. It's nothing fancy. And so then yet Micah Parsons says, hey, wait a minute. We just held the Super Bowl champs to 10 points. And Micah Parsons was asked, well, what do you say to the fans after this disappointing loss?
I mean, to the fans, I mean, they should have hope. I mean, like, it would be different if we're getting blown out in fashions of like, this is like in despair, like we can't win these type of games. Like we're very capable of winning these games. We're just not playing to the level of the standard that we set for each other, and we're beating ourselves in fundamentals and technique. And once we do that, we're going to be a really good team. But for right now, we just got to get back to the basics and do what we have to do. But I mean, I wouldn't panic at all. Like, we're going to win a lot of football. Like, the way we just played, we're going to win a lot of football games. So, I mean, there should be a lot. And this is considered one of the best offenses in National Football League. So, I would not panic. I wouldn't stress. We're going to win football games, I promise you.
You know, and I agree with that. Just offensively speaking, they're just not in sync right now, and that's very obvious. I will say defensively, they played good. Keyshawn Nixon continues to play a really solid cornerback one and had another decent game tonight, Mike. The entire defense did for the most part, but Keyshawn Nixon played pretty well this evening as well.
There was one point where the Eagles were like 3 out of 11 on third down, and it was plays like Keyshawn Nixon. But, you know, he's looking around and he's seeing his own offense not being able to convert on third down. Or they have a good play to Christian Watson on the right-hand side for 22 yards, and then the coach and the team get called for an illegal formation with that jumbo package they had out there when they put Kennard in there as like a sixth lineman. And so, you know, Keyshawn Nixon suggesting we ain't hitting on all three cylinders.
It's a team game. No matter what you do on defense, you know, we got to help the offense out, and the offense got to help us out. Special got to help us out. It's a team game, so only one side of the ball can't come to play, and then, you know, not everybody come to play. That's just not how the NFL works. Everybody got to be a team game, so, you know, you got to love on them boys and get ready to play next week.
You know, Mike, the big story, I guess, for the Packers, defensively speaking, they held Saquon Barkley down at 2.7 yards per carry tonight. I mean, they did a great job containing him.
I know, and I kept on talking to these Eagles, and I said, you know, the pressure built in this game, right? It was so close every minute of that game till you get to the fourth quarter. You realize one play could make a difference. Well, his play made the difference, the 41-yarder down the left-hand side on a broken play, but that set up, you know, their touchdown pass to Devontae Smith over in the corner, which was perfectly executed. You know, the Packers didn't have a play that pretty all night long. So I went to Saquon, and you know, I said, and how about you guys are on your bye, the trade deadline comes in, and you had Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins, who had a huge night tonight. I mean, the networks are talking to him. Michael Carter added to the depth of your corners. Jair Alexander, who didn't make the trip, but he'll be there in the secondary when you get into December. And here's what Saquon Barkley told me.
He's greedy. He won another one, and we all won another one. So we know that all the moves that he's making is for that reason. So
I just thought that game was so close all night long. You get to the fourth quarter, it's like one play could make it.
That's football. That's why you can't get too caught up in the highs or the lows. It can go in a direction where a lot of negative stuff is happening, and then two plays, it could be big and it could be 6 points, 7 points, and it can go really, really good. You can be driving, and one play can knock it all off. So you just got to stay with it.
Mike, the offensive line tonight, not good. There's a lot of things we're going to talk about, obviously, during the week, but the big injury is Elton Jenkins. And if I had my druthers, Elton would go back to guard. I'd pull Banks. I'd put Sean Ryan in at center. I'd put Jordan Morgan at the other guard, and I'd leave Zach Tom and Rasheed Walker out there because Banks is just not getting the job done. But Elton Jenkins with a pretty serious ankle. He couldn't even get a hardly walk when he was leaving the field and then had to be carted off. Do you know how serious that injury is by any chance?
I don't. I haven't heard. Also, did you see that Romeo Dobbs left the field with some kind of injury? But I haven't heard what that is yet.
He couldn't hardly breathe. He was on one knee, and he had to catch his breath. He couldn't hardly breathe. It was a chest injury of some type.
Yeah. Lane Johnson, though, was able to get back in that game at right tackle for the Eagles, and Nick Sirianni was praising him to overcome that with the ankle. By the way, the Eagles are still here just down the hallway here from my media office. Their plane is late to Green Bay for some reason.
Okay. There you have it. Maybe the government shutdown has affected their charter flight in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, well, we're going to go over there for a burger at Crowell's after
Right,
this. Just
exactly.
going to hang out with the guys.
There you go. You and Saquon Barkley dancing it up tonight at the club on a Monday night. Mike, great stuff.
That's
We'll
it.
talk tomorrow, okay?
Thanks, Bill.
Appreciate it, pal. There you go. Mike Clemens joining us on the hotline. Good stuff from Mike. And that is going to do it from here at Burkle Sports Bar and Grill in Green Bay. Unfortunately, not good news tonight for the Green Bay Packers. One more time before a crowd of 78,254 on hand to see it. It was the Philadelphia Eagles 10, the Green Bay Packers 7. Thanks for paying attention to us. We certainly appreciate it. Catch us on Wisco Sports Zone app, Wisco Sports